In the 1930s, a man in Key West, Florida, became infamous for his unthinkable love story. This isn't your average romance, it's a tale of obsession, death, and a bizarre relationship that lasted for 7 years after the woman he loved passed away. This is the story of Carl Tanzler, the man who stole his lover's corpse and then lived with it for years. It all began in 1930 when a beautiful young woman named Maria Elena Milagro de Hoyos was admitted to the hospital where Carl Tanzler worked as a doctor. Maria had tuberculosis, and despite Tanzler's efforts to treat her, she tragically died just a year later at the age of 22. But Carl Tanzler's grief wasn't like anything you could imagine. He couldn't let go. And so he did the unthinkable. He paid for her funeral, even going so far as to build a grand mausoleum for her final resting place. But this wasn't the end of their story. Oh no. Carl's obsession with Maria was only beginning. 2 years after Maria's death, Carl decided he couldn't live without her. He snuck into her grave, stole her body, and brought her back to his home. There, in his own creepy personal lair, Carl did the unimaginable. He preserved her body for 7 years. Using wax, plaster, glass eyes, and perfumed oils, Carl transformed her into a lifeless yet strangely preserved version of herself. He even stuffed her with rags to keep her body from collapsing and covered her in silk dresses and jewelry as if she were still alive. But the weirdest part? Carl didn't just keep her locked away, he slept beside her every night, dressed her up, and even danced with her. Locals reported seeing a strange figure through his window. People thought it was a mannequin, but it was Maria, or at least the shell of her. How did this go on for so long without anyone noticing? Well, for years, Carl lived in secrecy, but it wasn't until Maria's family grew suspicious that the truth finally came out. They broke into Carl's home, and what they found shocked them. There in the dim light was Maria's corpse, preserved and dressed in her finest. Carl had been living with the woman he loved, but she had been dead for years. Carl was arrested, but the public reaction wasn't what you expect. In fact, many people sympathized with him, viewing his actions as a tragic love story rather than a crime. Some even believed Carl was simply a man who couldn't let go of his one true love. In the end, Carl was never convicted. His actions were seen as strange, but not illegal at the time. He never faced the consequences many believed he should have. Carl Tanzler's obsession with Maria Elena Milagro de Hoyos ended when her body finally was returned to her grave. But his story lives on, one of the most bizarre and disturbing romances in history. It's a reminder of the fine line between love and obsession, and just how far some are willing to go to hold on to the past. So the question remains, is this a twisted love story or an unthinkable crime? You decide. If you found this story bizarre and chilling, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more strange and twisted tales from history. What other weird romances should we explore? Let us know in the comments below.